The forest that hates you. They say the forest behind the Ridgeway Hills used to be sacred. That was before it began to hate. Nobody goes there now. Not anymore. But last autumn we didn't believe in stories. It was just supposed to be a weekend hike. Me, Sarah, Daniel, and Lee, 4 college students trying to escape deadlines, rent, and the loud world for a few days. We packed tents, marshmallows, a flask of bourbon, and our arrogance. The trail began like any other: crunchy leaves, the smell of moss, golden light bleeding through the trees. There was laughter, even singing. But once we passed the old boundary stones, 2 moss-covered pillars etched with faded runes, everything changed. The forest got quieter. The birds stopped singing. Even the wind felt muffled, like it was afraid to make noise. "Guys," Lee said, slowing her pace, "why does it suddenly feel like we're being watched?" Daniel scoffed. "It's just dense trees. Come on, don't get spooky on us yet." But she was right. The feeling clung to us, growing heavier with each step. When we found the clearing, the sun had already started to dip behind the trees. We set up camp quickly, lit a fire, and tried to shake off the unease. "I read something about this place," Sarah said around the fire, her eyes reflecting the flames. "Locals call it Elm's Deep. They say it was cursed after settlers wiped out the tribe that lived here. The forest remembers." Daniel rolled his eyes. "Great, ghost stories." But I noticed something odd then. The trees, they were all leaning slightly inward, toward the clearing, like they were listening. We went to sleep around midnight. That was the last normal hour we had. Night 1, I woke up to the sound of twigs snapping, then whispering, low, fast, like a prayer spoken backward. I sat up, heart hammering, and glanced at Sarah. Her eyes were wide open. "Did you—" "Shh," she whispered. "Listen." There it was again, a shuffle, a dragging sound. Something moved just beyond the edge of the firelight. Then we heard Daniel scream. We bolted out of the tent. He was on the ground, clawing at something we couldn't see, his face twisted in raw terror. "What is it?" I shouted. "It grabbed my leg," he panted. "It was cold and angry." There was nothing there. No tracks, no animal, just trees and that unnatural silence. We didn't sleep the rest of the night. Day 2. In the morning, Daniel's leg had 3 long bruises, like fingers. "We need to leave," Lee said. We all agreed, but the trail was gone. We walked for hours. The compass spun wildly, GPS wouldn't connect. It was as if the forest had changed overnight, swallowing the path behind us. "This doesn't make sense," I muttered. "We didn't go that deep." Sarah was pale. "It's keeping us here." That night, we didn't make a fire. We didn't want it to know where we were. But that didn't help. The forest whispered to us. Not voices this time, memories. I heard my mother calling me, the way she did when I was 7 and lost at a fairground. I ran toward the sound before I could stop myself. Sarah tackled me just in time. "Don't listen to it," she hissed. "It's not real. It wants to divide us." Daniel didn't return to camp that night. We searched. We screamed. Nothing. Just the trees, looming ever closer. Day 3. At dawn, we found him. Or part of him. His face was pressed into the mud, eyes wide, mouth open in a scream. But his body was missing from the waist down. More horrifying, the way the trees around him leaned in, almost lovingly, as if they were feeding. "We're not alone here," Lee said. "There's something in this forest, something alive." "No," Sarah said, "the forest is alive." We moved without resting. The trees began to shift subtly behind us, just enough to never look the same twice. By late afternoon, we were back in the clearing, the exact clearing. Our tents were still there, but there were 4 tents, not 3. The 4th was smaller, older, torn. No one wanted to open it. We did anyway. Inside was a journal. The last entry read, "The forest feeds on fear. The deeper you go, the more it knows you. It will use your memories. It will take your face. You won't know when you're already gone." The page was dated October 13th, 1971. That was the date we arrived. Night 3. That night the forest spoke to us directly. It didn't use words, it used images, sounds, smells. My dead dog barking in the distance, Sarah's father, who'd passed 2 years ago, calling her name in his raspy voice. Lee saw her little sister, laughing and running barefoot between the trees. We each ran in different directions. I couldn't help myself. I followed the barking for what felt like hours. Then the trees opened into another clearing, this one full of bones. Animal, human, hundreds, tangled together like roots. And in the center, Danielle, or what was left of him. But he turned and smiled. "Why'd you leave me?" he asked, his voice wet and hollow. I ran. When I made it back, only Sarah was there. Her eyes were wide, lips trembling. "Lee's gone." Final day. We didn't speak much. We didn't cry. We just moved. The forest let us walk in a straight line for once. That felt worse somehow, like it wanted us to see what came next. We found Lee's necklace in a tree, not hanging from a branch, grown into the wood. The bark pulsed slightly around it, like a throat swallowing. "I think it's feeding off us," Sarah whispered, turning us into part of it. "I just want to go home," I said. "You don't have a home anymore." I turned. Sarah was still standing next to me, but her face was blank, too smooth. Her voice was all wrong. Then I remembered the journal. "It will take your face." I ran. I ran until my legs bled, until the trees screamed with the sound of cracking wood and laughter. I don't know how I got out. Now it's been 7 months. People ask me why I stopped sleeping in a bed, why I live in a concrete apartment with no plants, no wood furniture, no windows that face the trees. I tell them I just like the city. But that's not it. I still hear it. At night, in dreams, in wind, the forest. It remembers me. And I know, one day it will call me back. And this time it won't let me go. The end.